So the topic, right, of the overarching topic of Sparks is things that inspired you. And so this year I was inspired by online dating. And not in the way that you would think I would be inspired by online dating. It wasn't like I met someone and we lived happily ever after. I'll explain how I was inspired by online dating, but first you need a little bit of backstory. I never really dated. I met my ex-husband when I was 17. I was with him until I was like 36, 37. So I was never out in the dating pool, right? I've never been hit on in a bar. I've never gone on a blind date. None of this. It was totally new experiences to me. But I did find myself signing up for online dating. and just the act of filling out my profile was terrifying. You're filling out a profile, putting out information about yourself for the sole purpose of being judged worthy of being taken out on a date. It's terrifying. And you have to put up a picture, right? So it's not like it's a Reddit account where nobody knows who you really are. No, it's your face, it's your picture, it's identity, it's you. And it's not just on the internet, but it's local people, right? So I could walk into the grocery store and somebody could recognize me from my online dating profile. So you're very out there, and it's very terrifying. But in order to do it, I had to complete my profile, so I did it. Terrifying thing number one, done. Now, how online dating works, for those of you that don't know, you browse through profiles, and you hopefully find someone that you have an interest in. And when you do, you can like them. Or you can send them a message. Now again, this is totally terrifying to me. I don't want to do any of those things. I'm an introvert. I don't want to interact with people, and I definitely don't want to be liking them and messaging them, for the purpose of dating. But again, it's online dating, and if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it right. So I got myself a nice big glass of scotch, and with a very shaky hand, I clicked like, and terrifying thing number two, done. And eventually, at some point, we were messaging, and they asked me if I would like to meet in person. Now, clearly, I hadn't thought any of this through, because now I have to actually meet a person, and we have to talk, probably for an hour or two. And, again, terrifying, small talk, totally uncomfortable, not anything I want to go through. But I said yes, I agreed to the date, and I went on the date. So terrifying thing number three, done. The date was awful. It was terrible. It was so awful that I can't even tell you about the date because I would be banned from speaking ever again. It was that bad. But I got home. I told some of my friends about the date. They had a very good, long laugh, possibly at my expense, but that's all right. I had a really good laugh about it. And you would think at that point I would have deleted my account and joined a convent. I obviously didn't join a convent, but I didn't delete my account either. I went back, and I wound up liking some more people, and messaging some guys, and going on some dates. And some of the dates were good, and some of the dates were bad. But out of all of this, I learned two important things. One is that no matter how terrifying a thing is, doing that thing is what gets rid of the fear. And this sounds wrong with the next thing I'm going to say, but I like tons of guys all the time now, and I message them, and I go out on dates. And it's no big deal now. It's old hat. I don't need a glass of scotch before I do it. I might need a glass of scotch after the date, but not before the date. So, doing the thing is what overcomes the fear. You can't outthink fear and doubt, right? It's action that gets rid of the fear and the doubt. A long time ago, I read a quote by Eleanor Roosevelt, and the quote is, "You must do the thing you think you cannot do." And I always felt that that meant like personal growth, right? You should do new things so you can be more well-rounded and do the thing you think you cannot do. But now I think it's actually a little bit more like what I was talking about, because she was totally talking about online dating, obviously. And I think it's more just that when you do something, obviously you no longer think you can't do it because you just did it. And the more you do it, the more you can overcome it. And that's why you must do the thing you think you cannot do. And the second thing I learned, maybe even more important, it's sort of my new life philosophy, which is it'll either be fun or funny. You know, you can go on a terrible date and it'll be awful and you'll have to live through a couple of hours, but then you can go home and totally entertain your friends by telling them all about it. And it's a great attitude to have. So when you're going to go into something, you know, do new things. Do things that might be terrible, because you'll either have a great time or you'll have a great story.